Hi, I'm Trey Gerald, and I want to appreciate Ellen Greene singing Somewhere That's Green from Little Shop of Horrors 33 years after originating the role off Broadway. Little Shop of Horrors is one of my most favorite musicals of all time. It is a film that I grew up watching as a kid, introduced me to the art form, and it really is one of the best written from music to book musicals that exists. I could talk about this topic for hours, so I'm going to do my best to be as condensed as possible and just truly focus on this video from when Ellen Greene reprised her role 33 years later for the Encore's Off-Center series. Okay. First of all, I have to give a huge shout out to the YouTube account, The Little Shop Archive. They have a beautiful collection of videos spanning the original, bootlegs, slimes of the original off-Broadway production. Those literally exist and they have them. There's a whole collection of cut material from the film and major productions. They've just collected a lot of material. So if you have a huge interest, I highly recommend going to their account. All of the videos that I'm using today come from them. So thank you. Okay, I'm not going to do a whole background on Little Shop of Horrors. I may do that in a separate video. But for the purpose of this video, all you need to know, if you don't, is this song comes about a third into the first act. And it is our first peek into the true world of our female protagonist, Audrey. At the beginning of this scene, she is late to Seymour's big radio debut because she was handcuffed a little, not tied up, by her abusive boyfriend. So this is the moment when the audience gets to see what is truly underneath this quirky character, which is a whole other video I want to talk about. There are a handful of roles in musical theater that have such a blueprint, that has such a grip on the character, that it is impossible, nearly, to interpret it in any other way. And Ellen Greene's Audrey is absolutely at the top of that list for many reasons. It's genius, but also because she is one of the few actors who originated a role and was cast to do it in the major motion picture. And Ellen Greene is such a specific actress that her choices are so unique that they've sort of imprinted in the process of creating the role. But if you see a production of Little Shop and Audrey doesn't say, "Shua," you feel like you're being robbed a little bit. But if you're the actress playing Audrey, you feel like, why do I have to say "Shua" just because Ellen Greene did? It is a predicament that exists that is part of the conversation, but we're going to move on. Okay. So in 2015, Encores decided to do a staged reading of Little Shop of Horrors with Jake Gyllenhaal. And the real gag was that they brought back Ellen Greene to play Audrey. It sold out in the first day, so they actually added an additional performance. And the video that we're going to watch is from that added performance, which they added the day before. So it was supposed to only be on July 2nd, but they added a performance on July 1st. So it's interesting because they added a date prior rather than adding a date after. So that's why when you look, there are videos from the 2nd, which I encourage you to watch, but I am singling out this video because it is truly the first time she is doing the role again in 33 years. Technically not true because she did originate it in the West End. So the show opened in 82 and then she took it to the West End as well. So I just specifically appreciate and want to look at the gift that is Ellen Greene has lived with this role for 3 decades and was in the room as the role was being created. So she possesses all of the knowledge of why things are the way they are, but also has 3 decades worth of living with that to inform every breath in this performance, which is a sight to behold. So let's actually jump in and take a look. This is Ellen Greene, 33 years later, singing Somewhere That's Green.
I'm no singer as the greatest.
I mean, the audience goes crazy. Just from the opening chord, we are like, oh, I was actually in the room. So I actually didn't get tickets when it sold out and then saw they added a performance. We bought tickets immediately. So I am in this audience crying and clapping. I also just want to point out, on a technician point of view, it is interesting to watch Ellen Greene navigating how her voice perhaps is different 33 years later. That is something that is happening throughout the performance. But we don't care about that. Just something to note. Okay. The cast.
Still that scene was a cutie. Was not his good enough beauty. And I dream of a place where we could be together.
What kind of place is that, honey? The emergency room?
It's a daydream of mine.
Okay, it's interesting as an actor to ignore the joke that the other character makes. I love watching her set herself up on the garbage can, and she's already emotionally locked in to this daydream that she has. But it's so interesting. This just comes from knowing the show and having the experience of figuring out the flow with an audience to ignore the joke. Just pointing that out.
A little development I dream of just off the interstate. Now fancy like there's a
Double laugh and applause.
in a little suburb far, far from urban Skid Row. The sweetest, greenest place. Where everybody has the same little lawn out front and the same little flagstone patio out back. Oh, the houses are so neat and pretty. Because they all look just alike. Oh, I dream about it all the time. Just me and the toaster. And a sweet little guy. Like, Steve.
Okay, so we have the intro of the song, and then we immediately get a monologue. And Ellen Greene is navigating the comedy because this is inherently a musical comedy. And our character is a little quirky and off-center. We know this about her. But she's deliciously balancing being true that these are dreams and aspirations. These are things that Audrey really wants. It's not funny to Audrey. But playing toaster because she knows it's going to get a laugh, but isn't winking or playing at it, which I think is something that gets lost in translation often in playing the role. But interesting structure here, because if you eliminate the monologue, so much is told in the monologue, but it's not written to music. It's actually a speech. I love musical theater. I also just love the interpretation. I have never heard it before, except for in this performance, a distinction between a washer and a dryer, not a washer and a dryer. It's just so, God, I want to get inside her head. I just want to know every minute detail of all of these choices. Also, when you watch the July 2nd performance, that was, 12 hours later, her choices are different. Ugh, it's just beautiful.
He loves to mow and weed. I cook like Betty Crocker, and I look like Dawn Marie. There's plastic under furniture to keep it neat and clean. In the pipes of there's some way that's without rolling pin. And on bedtime, when I'm 15, we snuggle watching Lucy on a big, enormous 12-inch screen. December pride. His father, he knows best. But kids watch how he as the sun sets in a picture and a bit of
It is such a beautiful performance. I think it's a masterclass in storytelling because we are in a musical comedy. Everything has been haka haka. That's not entirely true. Everything has been joyful and musical comedy. And we get this quiet little moment over on the side, sitting on a trash can. And what I think is sometimes lost in the song, it is like a masterclass in pulling the rug. And it happens so subtly. And with the weird vocalisms of Ellen Greene, she's balancing having her character voice and her big belty voice. So there's always a negotiation between those sounds, and the audience giggles until she really endows the idea of December Bride as something, it is just so weighted. And we are no longer in a musical comedy. Also, like the inhale at the very end where we really see she is struggling is so beautiful. It's such a beautiful, deep, comedic, but devastating, it's truthful performance. I could literally talk about this for hours, but instead I will leave this on. I appreciate Ellen Greene. I appreciate Somewhere That's Green. I appreciate Part of Your World. I appreciate Little Shop of Horrors. Alan Menken, Howard Ashman. Ugh. All right. I am going to put the whole clip uninterrupted, as usual, so you can watch. Tell me your thoughts. What is your connection with Little Shop? What is your connection with Ellen Greene? Have you played Audrey? Have you seen really wonderful performances? Have you seen not so wonderful performances? You don't have to say that. What is your connection with Little Shop? All right. Until next time.
Seymour?
Bingo!
Oh, we're just friends. I can never be Seymour's girl. I got past.
And who amongst us has not?
I don't even deserve the sweetie, considering some really successful guy like Seymour.
This child suffers from low self-image. You have a point. She has a problem.
I know Seymour is the greatest. But I'm dating a semi-sadist. So I got a black eye and my arm was in a cast. Still that Seymour's a cutie. Life's not his good enough beauty. And I dream of a place where we could be together at last.
What kind of place is that, honey? The emergency room?
It's a daydream of mine, a little development I dream of, just off the interstate. Not fancy like Lexington. Just a little street in a little suburb, far, far from urban Skid Row. The sweetest, greenest place. Where everybody has the same little lawn out front and the same little flagstone patio out back. Oh, the houses are so neat and pretty. Because they all look just alike. Oh, I dream about it all the time. Just me and the toaster. And a sweet little guy. Like Seymour. A matchbox of home. A fence of real chain link. A grill out on the patio. Disposal in the sink. A washer and a dryer. And an ironing machine. In a tract house that we share. Somewhere that's green. He rakes and trims the grass. He loves to mow and weed. I cook like Betty Crocker, and I look like Don Marie. There's plastic under furniture to keep it neat and clean. In the pines of